Thank you, Matt, and thanks to everybody who's on the call. All of you have contributed to SHC in so many ways, and we couldn't do what we do without you, from serving on our board to other SHC committees to telling your community about us and helping us with work days and volunteering. We're grateful for all that everyone does to help us accomplish our mission, because SHC's mission is really vitally important right now and very relevant. Always has been important, but maybe never more so than now. Um, the Southern Appalachian Mountains are really one of the most species-rich locations in the country, and they're the corridor that plant and animal species will migrate northwards as the climate warms. And so every tract of land that we can conserve over the next few years really helps mitigate the negative impacts of climate change. And so that's a lot of what we're about right now, is trying to piece together that protected network, so to help preserve habitat in the mountains, to help preserve clean water sources. As the climate warms, water is going to become more and more crucial. So SHC really needs to function at our best. And to assure that, we spent the last year doing a year-long strategic planning process. And purposes of that really were to check our goals, make sure that the organization's program goals are the right things to focus on, to make sure that we really are achieving meaningful outcomes for people and the landscape, and then working as effectively and efficiently as we can in order to achieve those. We looked at matching our capacity with needs to make sure that we really can meet our goals right now, as well as going in long into the future, because as you know, our land conservation work entails long-term stewardship obligations and other commitments that SHC really needs to be sustainable in order to be able to carry those out. So we did the strategic planning process, and a summary of our plan is available at appalachian.org. You can check it out. I recommend that. We retained the organization's three primary program goals of protecting land, stewarding land, and connecting people with land. We really do want to emphasize equity and making sure that SHC's work is inclusive and equitable to all, and that we are an anti-racist organization. So that's going to be part of our commitment in our new projects. So as we were working on this strategic plan, we didn't take our eyes off the need for land protection, though. So I'm happy to report that in the last 12 months, we closed on 22 land and conservation easement acquisitions, and that's protecting 2,300 more acres, 2,300. And that's intact forest, high elevation habitat, ridge lines, watersheds, and productive farmland. So just a few highlights. In the Rhone, 3 more tracts acquired, and one is in holding on 3 sides of in the national forest, the Pisgah National Forest, and that property has some of the finest golden wing warbler habitat in the Southern Appalachians. Another tract we purchased includes the peak of Bellevue Mountain, and it's within the view from the Appalachian Trail on Hump Mountain, so a beloved view spot. Our work this past year spanned our whole service area. We bought 2 parcels adjoining the Great Smoky Mountains National Park at Cove Creek Gap, which is the entrance road into the Cataloochee Valley. And these properties could have been developed into homes or into a hotel, but instead we bought them so that we can transfer them to the Park Service to be added to the national park. So your view as you drive into the Cataloochee Valley will never be impaired by development there. And those properties adjoin the Cataloochee Divide Trail too. So it's actually a hiking destination. We also bought an inholding in the Nantahala National Forest in Jackson, Transylvania County line, property that the National Forest very much wants to acquire from us. It adjoins the Panthertown Valley and will eventually potentially provide another access trail to the valley. That could have been a second home resort style development where you could have walked out of your house and walked to the Panthertown Valley, but instead SHC bought it and will transfer that to the National Forest. We also bought 440 acres on Chestnut Mountain outside of Canton that we will gift to the town of Canton to enable them to create a new public park for people to use and enjoy for their health, and hopefully bring some economic development opportunities too. We assisted the state of North Carolina in 3 phases of acquiring additional land to add to for Pisgah View Park in Buncombe County, a new state park that will be opened eventually. We completed 8 new agricultural conservation easements that protect family farms around our service area to assure that those will be available for the future for food production. And you'll hear more about those in a presentation by Jess Lagus, our Farmland Protection Director. So we've got great new acquisitions in the works to come. And I'll just take a minute to share with you that before the end of this month, we'll purchase an inholding completely surrounded by the Cherokee National Forest in Unicoi County, Tennessee, that we're purchasing in order to transfer to the National Forest to help protect the view and the experience from the Appalachian Trail there. We also this summer are going to purchase 150 acres in Carter County, Tennessee, joining Roan Mountain State Park that we are buying in order to transfer to the state park so that they can add trails. And I think there's potential for primitive overnight camping, thanks to when they eventually get this property. And of course, we're all thrilled about the donation that we'll receive in 2022 of the vast conservation tract from Tim Sweeney. So we're thrilled about that. Now it gives